Hey, my YouTube friends and band family. Hey, we're back. We're out here outside right now this morning. I figured I'd come out here and let you see this beautiful fall Sunday morning. As you can see, we got a little breeze blowing. We got leaves changing on the trees. So I did that to help you understand what inspired me to do this video. Today, my inspiration is this nice, cool, transitioning weather to fall. And I decided to do a gumbo recipe, folks. That's right, a chicken and sausage gumbo. So I'm going to try to do this video and hopefully it comes out great. But before I tell you anything else, first I want to say thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy my videos, thank you. All I'm trying to do is just help people maybe have a better day while I do what I enjoy doing, which is cooking. So folks, thank you once again. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go inside and get out of this nice, dreary weather and get these ingredients together. And once I get them together, I'm going to bring you right back, folks. Hey, my YouTube friends and family, I'm back. As you can see here, I got my cast iron skillet. And typically, when you make your roux for your gumbo, you use oil and flour. But I saw some videos and saw some tips to try, and I'm going to try it out today making a dry roux. That's less oil that you may have to take out of your gumbo later on when it's done. But I'm going to put 3 cups of this all-purpose flour in the skillet. That's more than what I need for the gumbo recipe. But while you're making it, you may as well make extra because you can store it. Put it in a Ziploc bag, keep it airtight, and you can store it and have it for later uses for other things. So I'm gonna just get them 3 cups in there. I got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna spread this out into this pan and get it in the oven. And I'm going to check it every 15 minutes, stir it around to make sure it's not burning. So folks, after I get it in the oven and we go that first 15 minutes, I'll bring you back to see what it looks like. All right, folks, I'm back. As you can see, I've done my first 15 minutes. I'm going to bring this over here. I don't see a lot of color, but it's tightening up. I can feel it drying out more. I'm gonna break this up, stir it around so to make sure we don't get nothing burned. I'm gonna watch this real closely, my first time using this process, so I'm gonna just see how it turns out. This way, get it all stirred around in here. Break up those lumps. Got some lumps, some hard pieces start to form a little bit. I'm gonna break them all up each time. Get it spread back out. I'm sure if you were to put this in a flat sheet, it will go faster, but I want to use this cast iron, retaining that heat. Just want to do a little old school something with this, with that cast iron. So folks, here we got it all stirred around. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes. All right, folks, I'm back. We're going to take a look at that stir on this next 15 minutes. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but we're starting to get a little color change on this flour in here. We're going to get it stirred up. Starting to smell a little nutty, but just want to get it stirred up so we don't get no burn. Get around these sides and edges real good. Yes, yes, yes. Looking good so far. So far. Looking good so far, folks. Break those lumps up again. Yes, indeed. Got it stirred around. So what we'll do is we'll get that back in that oven. We'll set the timer for another 15 minutes. And then probably won't bring you back for the next 15, but I'll bring you back when I see some major difference. Hold tight, folks. All right, folks, I'm back. I went on and did 2 15-minute intervals on this flour, making this dry roux. And as you can see, we got some nice light brown color to this flour now. So in total with that 30 minutes, that's been an hour. It's been going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead on and set the timer for another 15 minutes. It smells good and nutty. I'm going to get it back in there, stir it around again, and get it back in the oven and let it go another 15 minutes. And that will be a total of about an hour and 15 minutes. So we'll watch it a little closer now since we got some color going. And I'm going to get this back in the oven, folks. Let it go for that next 15 minutes. And then we'll see what it looks like. And I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. I'm getting ready to take this baked roux out of the oven. Hopefully you can see that color that it's developed on there. I think this might be as far as I take it, folks. I don't want to make sure I don't burn it. I'll let this one go. It's been a total of about an hour and 35 minutes on making this roux and baking it in there. And it's got some good color to it. So, folk, I know some roux look a lot darker, but I'm gonna carry it about right there because I don't want to risk burning it at this point. And then, folk, once I get all my other ingredients together, while I let this cool, I'm gonna get my other ingredients together, and then I'll bring you back to show you what those ingredients are. So, folks, if you just hang on with me, I'll bring you back. Hey, my YouTube friends and family, I'm back. As you can see, I'm going to be using chicken thighs in this gumbo recipe. And Walmart has some marked down, and I'm going to use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. But as you can see, these got bones in it, and it's got skin on it. So, folks, why spend that extra money to buy pre-boneless and skinless when you can do it yourself? All you're going to do, get the skin off of this chicken thigh. That was really hard, wasn't it? Have you a good sharp knife. Find that bone in that chicken thigh. Come down along beside that bone. Take that boning knife, go down that bone. That's why it's called a boning knife. You can work it around that bone real simple and easy. Come up on that bone. Flip yourself around to where you can see what you got going on, to follow the muscles of the meat, and just take that meat right off the bone. Like I said, no need in spending that extra money for whatever brand you're buying to do it for you. You take a couple minutes, do it yourself. Save you some money. But as you can see, I'm getting that meat right off that bone, coming around that knuckle gristle there to where the thigh meets the leg. Get all of that off. Get that out. Look, folks, there's your bone. There's your boneless, skinless chicken thigh. Now you can take your time, clean up whatever fat you don't want there. I like to leave a little of the fat because I want that flavor. But I'll take some of it off, see what may need to be cleaned up on there, some pieces hanging. And outside of that, folks, that's all to it. You got a boneless, skinless chicken thigh. All right, folks, I'm back. As you can see here, I got a few ingredients laid out. I got some andouille sausage laid out here. This is the brand I'm going to give a try today. Got it at Walmart. So we're going to give this Cajun style andouille sausage a try. Get it open here. Get it cut up. And then once we get it cut up, I'm going to go on and get this flame going on my Dutch oven over here. As you can see over here, I might try to move my camera so you can see here. I got my Dutch oven, which is nicely used, going. Get it going there, warm it up. Then I'll come back over here, get my andouille sausage cut up because I want to brown. I like to, before I do meats and whatnot in my stews or soups or gumbos or whatever I'm cooking, I like to brown my meat. That's just to build those flavors, folks. As these are already pre-cooked, so for the most extent, I'm not worrying about too much cross-contamination on these. My chicken, I used a different cutting board just so I wouldn't mess up my main cutting board and have to sanitize it. But what I'll do a light sanitization on my cutting board after I cut up this andouille. So we're going to get it open, as you can see here, getting it open. This right here in this one pack is about, what is it? It's 12 ounces. So I'm going to use all of these in this one pack, and I'll probably use 2 out of the other pack just to give myself a good amount of meat in my gumbo. And what I'm going to do is, you can see I got them open. I'm going to get this other pack open. I switched over to my chef's knife that's another thing too, folks. Just don't rely on just your regular old generic knives. Get you some knives that you can work with to do different things. You saw I use my boning knife to bone my chicken thighs. Now I use my chef's knife. My chef's knife will pretty much work for everything else that I'm going to do with this recipe, because I'm just going to be cutting up and chopping with your chef's knife. Is your multi-purpose knife. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split these andouille sausages this way. Then I'm going to cut them up this way. That gives you smaller bites to go on your spoon, and then but more pieces of meat also distributed throughout your food that you're cooking, your gumbo. So I'm just going to do that, folk. And once I get these all finished up and cut up, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Now that my Dutch oven here is preheated, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this grass-fed butter I got here into that pan. Get about a tablespoon of that. Look, on these recipes, when I cook like this, I don't worry about how much calories I'm saving. I don't cook like this every day. But when I do videos, I like to do something special. Do full hearty meals that you can enjoy and have a good time eating. Now I'm going to get a tablespoon or so of this lard. That's right, I said it, lard, folks. Put this in here, and we're going to use this as a base oil, because see, remember, folks, we don't have any oil in our roux. That was a dry roux, so we don't have that extra oil in there. So what we're doing is we're building flavor. Right now, folks, we're building flavor. And I'm going to get this stirred around. I brought the heat down on my Dutch oven here. You can see she's good and screaming hot. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the sausage in here. Oh, yeah. You see that and hear that? Listen, folks, that's what you want to hear. Always got to have a runaway, don't you? But I'm going to get that andouille in there so it can start, wipe my hands off a little bit, so it can start browning up, releasing some of its flavors into that oil I put in there. Good quality oils. That also helps, folks. So, folks, we're going to let this cook along. And once we start to get some color on it, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. Ooh, look at that. It's been going about 5 minutes. As you can see, look at that color that has developed on that sausage. I don't want to get it too brown because it's still got It's still going to cook along with the rest of the gumbo, but that's what I just want. Want to get that color going on there, build those flavors. Then I'm gonna get it out of this um, Dutch oven here and get it on a plate. Then after that, I'm gonna get the chicken on there. I just wanted you to see those colors that are developing on there, folks. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful looking color on that sausage. So, folks, as it continues, as I get this out of here, then when I get the chicken in, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. I got that sausage out. Now that I got that sausage to release some of its juices in there, I'm gonna get this chicken in here, folks. Yes, get these thighs in here. I left them whole for now because I'm just gonna brown them that way, brown them whole. Don't want to overcrowd my pan because I want them to get some good color on them. So I'm not gonna put all of them in there at one time. What I got here now too is some of the Zatarain's Creole seasoning. I'm gonna season that chicken with that. While it's in here, we're developing and building flavors inside this Dutch oven, folks. That's what we're doing. Just get a good coating on that chicken. I'm gonna let it brown on that side for a few minutes. Then when I flip them over, I'll give them another douse of that seasoning. Yes, indeed. Look at that, folks. Going nicely, going nicely. Got that Creole seasoning on them. Gonna let them do what they do in that Dutch oven. Then once we get them browned on that side, I'll bring you back, folks. All right, folks, I'm back. It's been about 5 minutes on these thighs. Oh yeah, look at that. See that color we're developing on there, folks? We're building flavors, like I said earlier. We don't want to cook them all the way through. We're gonna just build this color, get some crust on there. And they got a fancy name for what's happening in the bottom of the pot. As you can see, there's some dark looking colors down in the bottom of the pot. They got a fancy culinary term called fond. I don't use that. I call them yum yums. Yeah, we're building them yum yums in the bottom of that pot, folks. So like I said, once I got them all started to brown, oops, I hit my camera, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of this Creole seasoning on the back side of these thighs. Let them build a little of that color on the other side. Then after they build the color on that side, I'm gonna get them out. I'll get these in. And then after I get that, I'll bring you back to show you the next step, folks. Hang tight. All right, folks, I'm back. I got that chicken all browned off. I got it browned off and I got it sitting on the plate with the sausage. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna cut that chicken up into pieces once I'm ready to put it into that pot. What I got here is a whole onion. I used a half an onion to make me some broth that I'm gonna show you in a second. I got 5 cloves of garlic. I got 3 full stalks of celery, plus a little piece that I had left that I used to make the stock. I took a daggone turkey wing, put it in my Instant Pot with some celery, some onion, and some poultry seasoning, just to make me a broth here at home instead of buying an extra broth. So I'm gonna take that once I get these vegetables cut up and ready to go, because once we get the roux done and in the pot, we're going to have these vegetables prepped and ready to go because things going to move quick. So, folks, I'm going to use the broth that I made out of that turkey wing in my Instant Pot to put in here to make my roux. So, folks, if you just hang tight, I'm going to get these vegetables cut up and then I'll bring you back when I'm going to make this roux together, this liquid roux. Hold tight, folks. There we go, folks. Everything all cut up. One thing I almost forgot. As you can see, I got my onion, I got my celery, and I almost forgot to tell you about my green bell pepper. In Creole cooking, them 3 right there is called the Holy Trinity. Those 3 right there are essential in anything you're going to be making, Cajun, Creole, or whatever. And over here to the side, I got my garlic. Garlic is not part of the Holy Trinity, but garlic is essential to flavoring your dish to give it that full rounded taste when you start to make a soup or anything you want to cook to cook for a slow, long temp time. It is essential in the flavoring for it. So, folk, there go my Holy Trinity. I'm going to be getting it in that pot here in a few. But right now, what I'm going to start doing is working on this liquid roux so we can get it ready to go when we get get this Holy Trinity sauteed. So, folk, if you just hold tight, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. What I got in here, ooh, it's hot too, is a cup of that broth I made in my Instant Pot. I just dipped this cup in there. I can't tell you how much it is, but we're looking for a consistency. I do have about a cup and a quarter of that dry roux that we made in this bowl. And we're going to just add this to this roux until we get the consistency we want. So I'm going to add that in there, stir it around, get it all blended together. As you can see, it absorbed that right on up. I'm going to add more. Take your time adding this. You don't have to go all at once, all fast, because you got this roux made. You just want to use this amount of flour that you've cooked off to get into the roux. So that right there, that's about a 12-ounce cup. I've already got that in there. And as you can see, that's not enough. So I'm going to go over here and get some more, folks. All right. Here I come. And is when you do all this stuff yourself, you can manage your sodium intake. As you notice, I haven't put salt itself on anything because the Cajun seasoning, the Creole seasoning's got salt in it. The turkey that I smoked here has got salt in, that I made the broth out of has got salt in it. So I'm just gonna continue to add this way, and then at the end I can taste it to see if I need to add salt, because you can always add it, but you can't take it away. So, folk, I'm gonna continue on adding this to this roux just until I can get a consistency I want. You see, I'm making a little mess, but that's okay. That's okay. Take my time, get this stirred in. As you can see, the color of the roux actually changed. It got a little darker. So, folk, I'm gonna keep adding and working with this broth until I get the consistency I want. So, folk, if you hold tight, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. I done let my pot come up here now. I've tinkered with that roux enough. It's way too much. So I'm going to go ahead on and get my Holy Trinity going. Once I get it all in here and get it sauteed for a few, then I will get that roux in there and I'll use that broth to adjust it. It's going to thin it more because of the oil that I have in there that's already in the pot. And I still got plenty of broth left that I made. So right now, I'm just going to get this Holy Trinity in here. Get it started to translucent. I'm not trying to make it totally soft. I'm just trying to get it to release its flavors into that oil in there. Once it does that, see, then I can add my garlic, because we don't want to burn our garlic. We don't put it in there at the same time, but we don't want to burn our garlic. And so we'll get it put in after we get this a little translucent. And also, what this is with this Holy Trinity, it's gonna do, it's gonna help release some of this. Like I said, some they call it fawn, but I call it yum yums off the bottom of this pot. It's a lot in there, and I don't mind a lot of the veggies, folks. That's part of something when you're eating something like this that makes it good. I don't mind a lot of the veggies in there to give it that texture, that contrast to whatever, however liquidy or however sturdy you make this. I hit my camera and knocked it off, but that's all right. So, folks, I'm gonna go ahead on and let this come together. As you can see, it's starting to get up. All them yum yums all off the sides, all off the bottom. You want that because that's flavor, folks. That's flavor that's going to go back into your food you're preparing. So I'm going to let it get off as much as it can. Then I'm going to add a little of that broth. Then when I come back, I'm going to start adding that roux in there until I get the consistency I want with those vegetables. And then after that, we're going to finish this thing up, folks. Hold tight. All right, folks, I'm back. Boy, look at those veggies. As you can see, all of that fond had and them yum yums had developed on the bottom of that pot. Look at how it darkened up those vegetables, folks. Yes, look at how it darkened them up. That's getting to be the color. That color is going to add to that roux that we made and darken it up nice like you done made a good chocolate roux on top of the stove. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this garlic, folks. We don't want to add it too soon because you don't want to burn your garlic. Burnt garlic has got a bitter taste, but once you get it to where it's just warming up and starting to release those oils, it's a good, sweet, fragrant flavor and taste. So we're going to add that to that right now. Let it go for a minute or so. And then we're going to start incorporating our roux, folks. Yes, indeed. Man, I wish you could smell those people. Oh, now that garlic is starting to hit in there with that mirepoix, that holy trinity. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the Holy Trinity, not the mirepoix, the Holy Trinity. So, folks, oh my goodness, that smells so good. So here in a second, I'm gonna let it go for a minute or so, not quite a minute, just until that garlic release a little more of that oil. Like I said, I don't want it to burn, but it is starting to look amazing, people. That color looks great. So now, this bowl that I made a mess in with this roux, I had too much, but that's okay. I'm going to add some in here. Look at that. I'm going to add about that much to start with. This is a learning curve on me on using this dry roux. So we're learning together, people. I'm going to get that mixed in with these vegetables. Ooh, look at that, people. Look at that. Look at how that's come. Oh, my goodness. Did that turn the perfect color or what, folks? It looked like we spent hours on that roux, watching and staring and being there and attending to it. It looks pretty dang perfect, people. Oh, yeah. You know, that flour taste is already cooked out of that roux because, you know, we roasted it in that oven and for it to change and get rid of that raw roux, raw flour taste. So we don't have to cook it so long to get it right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get this stirred in. That's looking amazing. We're moving quick. We're moving quick. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds just to get some good heat in there with that roux. Maybe richen it up a little bit more. Don't want to burn it. Don't want to burn it. Oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. Okay, now we're going in with that andouille. Look at those juices that andouille released. That's just building flavor, folks. And while we were away letting those veggies saute, I went on and got that chicken chopped up. We're going to get it in there. Oh, yeah. This is going to be such a meaty gumbo, folks. If you don't like as much meat in your gumbo, don't put as much in there. But I love a meaty gumbo. I love a meaty gumbo, people. Now I'm going to run over here and rinse my hands off while that starts to come together a little bit. Yes. Got to keep clean hands, people, when you're in here cooking. Now, I'm going to take this and stir it in. Get that meat all stirred in. Yes, I am. Ooh, look at that, people. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That looks so good right now. And what we're going to do here in a second, once I get that all mixed in, ooh, I see some more of that and do it juice. I want it all. I want it all, people. Oops, there I go, hitting the camera again. Just bear with me, folks. I got a little bit of roux in this cup that I'm gonna add in. As you can see, I got a little more onion and celery in the broth itself. And you know that turkey wing that I cooked in that instant pot to make that broth? Do you think I'm gonna throw that meat away? No, indeed. I'm going to get some more of that broth right now. And I'm gonna dump it in. I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna dump it in. Now, I'm gonna stir this all up. Uh-oh, there's a little gristle off of that turkey wing. Don't want that. I'll take it out. I'm gonna get this mixed in here. Yes, folks. Yes. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get another cup. Yes, I am, because that roux was really thick. Then once I get this in here, I'm gonna start fishing that turkey meat out of that pot. And I'm gonna put it in here too. So I probably won't show you that on camera. But once I get it all mixed up and in here, then I'm gonna show you the next step that I'm gonna do, folks. So hold tight, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. Ooh, as you can see, I got that meat in there. I got all that meat. Look at all that meat. That color, those flavors that's developing. And you know what? I don't eat it any other way. But to try to have close to an authentic gumbo, you gotta have okra. So I got this frozen okra that I'm gonna pour in there. I'll pour that 12-ounce bag of okra in there, get it stirred in, let it come together. I told you I wasn't gonna throw that smoked turkey wing away that I had. Look at how pretty that okra makes that gumbo. Don't that look good, folks? I told you I wasn't gonna throw it. I'm sorry, I got distracted by how beautiful that okra was. But I told you I wasn't gonna throw that turkey. Look at it. I got all that meat off that smoked turkey wing. And it's in here along with the sausage, along with the chicken, along with the roux, along with the Holy Trinity, along with the Creole seasoning, along with everything, the garlic. And we're gonna let this simmer along. And there's something else that I'm gonna put in here. Yep. Bay leaves, folks. I'm gonna put some bay leaves. I'm gonna put 3 in there. I got 2 big ones, and I got a sort of small one. I'm gonna put them in there, let them join them flavors in that pot, and let I fish them out later on. I'll fish those bay leaves out, but I'm gonna let that simmer along. What I'm gonna do is, I got my lid. I don't want to have it all the way covered. I'm gonna let it simmer for a little while. Then I'll taste it to see if it needs salt, if it needs more Creole seasoning, what it needs. So I'm gonna let them flavors develop. I'm gonna cover it about that much right now. I'm gonna bring my heat down to like medium low. Let it simmer for a little while. So, folks, once I let it simmer, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. Man, look at that. You see them nice slow bubbles going on? It's been simmering like that for about 45 minutes. It's looking good. Once it gets done simmering there, look at all of that. Oh my goodness. Look at all of that goodness there, people. That looks so good. I can't wait to put some in my mouth. But folks, I just wanted you to get a peek. I got my rice going, getting ready. I just wanted you to see what it looked like before I plate this thing up and finish this video out. So folks, just hold tight. I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to ladle up some of this gumbo, folks, in this bowl with this rice and get a taste test so we can see what it is. Oh, yeah, folks. Look at that. Look at that, people. Look at that. Oh, yeah. We're going to get that ladled on in here. Get some of that juice, folks. Try not to make a mess, but It looked too good to play with. So we're just gonna get this ladled up right on around that bowl, people. Get a little more in there. Yeah. Get a little more of that daggone, that gravy. Mm-hmm. We're gonna give it a little boom, boom, boom of that parsley, folk, just to make it look a little pretty, a little appetizing. And then we're gonna get ready to get in there for a taste test. So, folk, if you bear with me, I'll bring you back for that. All right, folk, I'm back. I got my bowl here. I got my gumbo with this rice here. I'm gonna give it a taste test for us, folk. Give me some of this rice, give me some of that gumbo, just to see what it tastes like. It's piping hot too. Well, making gumbo not a quick process. It takes a while to get it right. But for my attempt today on this dry roux gumbo, the flavor, the color, textures in here are delicious. So I'm just gonna. I gotta get one more. That was so good. I gotta taste it one more time, folks. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So, folks, as we wrap up this video, fall weather set in. Nice, cool, rainy Sunday here. Give yourself some time and make yourself a good, soothing, warming gumbo for a Sunday evening. And folks, as I always tell you, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe so you be notified when I make a video. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And as I always say, keep on cooking.